Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brewster Tizzy here, back again with another Santa Fe Dynasty video. And in this week, this will be the third installment of Look Around the Nation. And it's week 14, so it's a bye week for Santa Fe, just right after the Rice game. So in this episode, I just want to show you all the stuff that's going around in the Dynasty, including rankings, standings, polls, recruitment, and other things. So just want to catch you guys up on what's going on. And since it's bye week, I thought it was a good time, especially right after the regular season. And don't worry, I'll be posting the bowl game right after this video as well. And here's a look at the Heisman rankings so far. Ohio State's QB Charles Price is number 1, the leader right now. At number 2 is Clifton Porter, the NIU QB that we played week 1. He was definitely a tough QB to play against. And then Cody Mathis is 3rd QB for Oklahoma. Then Travis Keller, QB for Wisconsin. And then lastly, Brad Davis, the QB for Oregon. So also, we're going to look at the award finalists since it's the end of the season. And right now, the leading candidate for the Maxwell Trophy is also the same as the Heisman, which is Charles Price, QB from Ohio State. Then looking at the Walter Camp Award, Clifton Porter, QB from Northern Illinois, is leading that race so far. And look at that, the last finalist for the Walter Camp Award is Johnny Morris. So it's pretty crazy that Johnny Morris made it for a finalist for one of the awards. And look at the Benerick Award, which is given to the best defensive player in college football. Right now, Damon Hill from Utah State, cornerback, is officially leading this race. And look at this also. At number 11, Rashawn Woods is up for the award as well. So that's pretty crazy. And looking at the Nagurski Award, I don't really know what this award is, but I think it's the best pass rusher in college football. Currently, Joe Harrell from Georgia is currently leading this award. And looking at that O'Brien Award finalist, which is the best QB in all college football. Currently, again, Charles Price is leading that race. And also at number 7 is Adrian Holman, and at number 10 is Kenny Maynard. So some familiar faces up for this award. And obviously the Walker Award given to the best running back, Jeremy Owens from UNC, is currently leading this. And look at this, Lavelle Evans is ranked number 12, last place so far for the Warren finalists, but still cool again to see another Santa Fe player up for an award. And the Blitnikoff Award right here, which is given to the best wide receiver, Travis Mason from Oklahoma is currently leading it. And the Mackey Award, who's given to the best tight end, currently Derek Amos from Georgia is leading it. So looking at the best linebacker award, Caleb Harris, left outside linebacker from TCU, is currently leading it. But as you see here, ranked number 9th is Rashawn Woods. So once again, another Santa Fe finalist. And the Thorpe Award, which is given to the best defensive back, Damon Hill is currently leading it. And look at this, the best returner award, currently Jovan Thurman is leading this award. So this might be the first trophy that Santa Fe ever gets for a player achievement. So that's pretty cool that Jovan Thurman's leading the best returning player award finalist. And here's the official BCS rankings so far in the year. So Ohio State here is at number 1, which has a record of 11-0. At number 2 is Boise State, which also has an undefeated record. And at number 3, Northern Illinois, who we played week 1, our very first game ever we have played against. And they're 11-0 and ranked number 3rd in the country. So that's really crazy to see that we played against the eventual 3rd ranked team in the nation. Number 4 is Bama. Number 5 is Georgia. At number 6 is Oregon. Michigan is at number 7 here. At 8 is Oklahoma. Notre Dame is at 9. And South Carolina is at 10. Then looking at 11 through 20 here, LSU is at 11. Texas is at 12. Wisconsin at 13. Michigan State at 14. Nebraska at 15. Georgia Tech is at 16. Kansas State at 17. TCU at 18. 19 is USC. And 20 is UCLA. And then for the bottom 5 right here, Texas A&M is at 21, Louisville is at 22, Iowa at 23, NC State at 24, and Tulsa, who we also played this year, ranked number 25, so that's pretty cool that we played against 2 ranked opponents. And here are the final stats for this regular season. And the leading passer of all college players is Cameron Hins, who we also played, so that's pretty cool. And right behind him at number 2, Kenny Maynard's there with 3,454 yards, so that's also cool that we play against the top 2 passers in college football this year. And you can see here, Johnny Morris is ranked 79th with 1,995 passing yards on the year. So looking at number 1 ranked rusher in the country is King from Louisville with 1,403 yards. And at number 13, Lavelle Evans was there with 1,067 yards, so that's pretty good. Looking at the receiving leaders here, Evans from Marshall, who we also played against, had 1,202 yards. And looking at our best wide receiver, Alex Newton only had 531 yards on the year, and he was ranked 170th wide receiver in the country, so that's pretty sad. Then if we look at solo tackles, all top 3 players are Santa Fe players, with Rashawn Woods leading the way with 69 solo tackles, Titus D'Angelo with 60, and McFadden with 50 tackles on the year. So that's really crazy to see that Santa Fe leads with 3 players in the tackle leaders. Looking at the sacks leaders on the year, Anderson from Iowa State led the country with 11 sacks, and Jamel McIntyre surprisingly was the ranked 15th player in terms of sacks with 8 sacks on the year, so that's pretty good production from him. Then looking at the interceptions leaders here, obviously Hill, that we saw a lot in the awards, led the whole entire country with 8 interceptions on the year, and our leading interception leader was Rashawn Woods with 3 interceptions, which was ranked 188th. So we didn't really get that much production from interceptions on the year from our defense. And I mean, this doesn't really matter, but looking at the kicking stats, just in case you're wondering, Leonard from Kansas State led the whole entire country in a 3-way tie for the longest field goal with a 56-yarder. And surprisingly, Sisk had the 10th longest field goal with 53-yard field goal, so that's pretty crazy. So really quickly here, I'm just going to run through the team stats of the regular season, our final stats, so that shouldn't take so long. But here, Johnny Morris for the passing yards obviously led our team with 1,995 passing yards. Terrence Roberts, he only had that 1 pass, but he went into that game which didn't get saved when my power lost, so technically that's his only pass of the year, which kind of sucks. But anyways, he had really good QB rating at least. And looking at the rushing numbers here, Lavelle Evans led the whole entire team with 1,067 rushing yards, and Johnny Morris actually had 729 rushing yards, so it's pretty crazy to see. Jovan Thurman also added 106 yards. And looking at the touchdowns here, Johnny Morris actually had more rushing touchdowns than Lavelle Evans, so that's pretty crazy. Lavelle Evans with 11 and Johnny Morris with 12. Jovan Thurman had 4, and Alex Newton had that 1 on that jet sweep. And looking at the receiving numbers here, Alex Newton led the team with 531 receiving yards. And our second leader was Marcus Washington with only 305 yards. So we didn't really get that much production out of the passing game this year, but that's mostly due to my fault for not passing it that much. And looking at the receiving touchdowns here, our team leader was also Alex Newton with 4, Jovan Thurman with 2, and Jeffrey Cox with also 2. And looking at the tackle leaders here, obviously Rashawn Woods led the team as he's also the leading tackler in the whole entire nation with 79 tackles, 69 solo tackles. And looking at the tackle for losses here, Rashawn Woods led the team with 14 tackles for a loss, so that's pretty crazy. And obviously, as we saw, QB sacks, Jamel McIntyre had 8 sacks. Oliver Murphy was right behind him with 7 sacks, so pretty good production out of him. Avery Randall also had 4 sacks on the year. Then looking at the interception leaders here, Rashawn Woods with 3, Kevin Maxwell with 2, and Derek Skinner also with 2, along with Dion Pittman, and also Elvis Adams added interception. And looking at our recruiting board here, last week was a huge week for recruiting for Santa Fe, as many of our top prospects visited, and look who committed. Travis Robertson, 4-star athlete out of Colorado, committed to Santa Fe. 78 overall athlete. And just in case you need a reminder on the stats again, he has 93 speed, and most importantly, looking at his QB stats, 79 throw power and 80 accuracy. So this is crazy. He also has 85 zone coverage, 82 man coverage. Can play also wide receiver, as he has 74 catching, 74 spec catch, and 76 catch in traffic, and 80 route running. So Travis Roberson can do it all. He can literally play at any position we wanted him. So we could put him at QB, he would play there great. Could put him at wide receiver, he would play there great. And we could also put him at corner even, and he would play great. So really happy that he committed to us. And that's going to be a really key player in Santa Fe history going down the line. But also looking at other recruitments, I found another athlete, 78 overall, Eddie Lucas, and we're currently only 5 points behind Bama. But I think it might be too late in the year for this recruiting battle, as look at like the points, we're like barely even starting the race. So unless we pour tons of points into him in the offseason, I don't really see him committing to us or even committing to any school. And looking at our number 2 prospect ranked overall, Patrick White, outside linebacker, we currently have a pretty good lead on him. But again, with Eddie Lucas, it might be too late in the recruiting race, as he might not choose a commitment. But we are going to have to pour tons of points into him in the offseason to make him commit here. And also looking at Brian McKeon here, we're currently in the lead in a three-way battle here between Illinois and Boise State. So it's going to come down to those two in the offseason and see how much we need him. But I don't think we really need him that much. I mean, he's a good player. He's 6'5". He's a 4-star athlete. But he's not that great as Travis Roberson, as he has only 89 speed. Doesn't really have that many other skill position stats, as, I mean, he has okay catching. The only other position I could see him playing besides wide receiver is running back, as he does have 75 trucking and 74 ball carrier vision. But at the same time, it'd be kind of awkward to put a 6'5" player at running back. So I'm most likely playing him at wide receiver, but not so sure if we're going to really target him in this offseason. Then looking here at cornerbacks, Mark Foster, we currently lead over Minnesota and Marshall. So that's really good news, but still it's going to come down to the offseason for him. And I really want him, since he's also a really good corner and he's a 4-star corner. But looking at his stats, he has 90 speed and 86 man and 87 zone. So really hope that we can get him. And like I went over in previous videos, we also got John McGrew, defensive end, Marlon Keys, 70 overall corner, and we also got 69 overall D-tackle Tom Sanders. Another commit that committed this week was 68 overall quarterback Udoline Barrett from Colorado. So here's another quarterback that we probably will redshirt and just try to groom and grow over the years. So hopefully he can become good, but just backup plan if we don't play Travis Roberson at QB. And here's some more commits. Also, Jalen Moss, wide receiver, committed here, along with Obadiah Mbainfu, defensive end, committed here. And I forgot to mention also, punter William Moss committed here. He's a 67 overall. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the 75 overall punter Travis White, as he committed to Oklahoma State. But it doesn't really matter since we also got another punter, so works out in our favor. So yeah, that will put an end to this Look Around the Nation episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be coming up with this bowl game really shortly. I'll be recording it after this video is done, so should be right out after this video is posted, so be on the lookout for that video. But hope you guys are excited for this upcoming offseason as well, so hopefully we get more recruits down the line here. But anyways, that will do it. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.